Hello, this is Shawn Woodell from Heavenly Soaps and Such. Today I am going to show you how I make goat's milk soap. And the first thing that I do is I get my goat's milk in a container and I put it in the freezer. So I'm going to put this in the freezer and let it get really cold, because, and I'll explain that when I come back. Give me just a second. Sorry about that. I put it in the freezer outside because it has more room and you can just sit the whole pitcher down in there without having to move a bunch of stuff around. So I'm going to measure out the oils that I need, and I'm going to use this, do this with this container. And like I said, this is going to be goat's milk oatmeal soap with no fragrance oils, no essential oils, just a plain unscented soap made with goat's milk and oatmeal. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and turn my scale on. You need to make sure that you have a scale, because you need to have an accurate measurement of your lye and your lards and things, and you definitely don't want to use like a cup of something, because you know a cup can have a different amount in it. If you pile a little too high or a little too low, or if there's air pockets somewhere in the cup, it's just not an accurate measurement. So you definitely don't want to use you definitely want to use a scale. Alright, this weighs 5 ounces, so I'm going to go ahead and tear it out. Make sure my scale is on a level place. This table kind of tends to sink in a little, and I think it's from using all these hot crock pots. I'm going to measure my oil. And the batches that I use, or the molds that I use, I should say, are a certain size. And in order to fill them up, you know, not overfill them, I need to use 78 ounces of whatever type of oils I'm using. If I'm using coconut oil, palm oil, sunflower oil, olive oil, lard, depending on the soaps I'm making and the customers, because different customers have different needs. They want different things, so you have to please the customer. But it depends on what oils you're using. But like I said, I always use 78 ounces for my mold. You can use whatever you want if you're pouring in a container or pouring in little molds, or if you're doing little Pringle cans, or you know, you just kind of play with it. But I had to kind of figure it out. But I will say this is going to be a little bit too much on this one, because this one uses oatmeal, and I forgot to account for the oatmeal. So I'm going to go ahead and do 78, and then when I do a little bit extra, it works out fine, because then I'm able to have some. Okay, I have 4 pounds, which is 64, and I need to add some more. That's way too much. That's gone to 5 pounds. Okay. 76. And actually, I haven't actually done my lies yet, so I could go ahead and do 76, but I'm not. I'm going to do 78. That way I have some left over. Alright, so 64, 74, 75, 76, 77, 78.5. Got to get rid of that 0.5, that 0.1. A little bit more. There we go. Nah, it's like it's like it's teetering back and forth between it's there and it's not quite there. So I think I'm like hitting it. Now it's gone to 1. There it goes. Alright, but I think I had to have more than that. Actually, no, I only need 78. Alright, so 4 pounds is 64, 74, 78. So that's exactly 78 ounces. And like I said, you can do 16 ounces. It's kind of up to you on what you do. And I'll go ahead and dump. There's nothing splashed with this oil, so I'm just going to dump it straight in there. I'm going to use the spatula just to get out anything that kind of, because remember you are weighing it. So, you know, you want to get out, you don't have to get out every little bit, but you don't want to leave oils in here that we're supposed to be mixing with the lye. Okay. Alright, that looks good to me. So, there we go. I'm going to put the lid on it. I've got it on high just to get it going good. I'm going to go ahead and put these oils up. And I'm going to go ahead and get my lye going because we need to cool that lye down. Anytime you are dealing with goat's milk, you really need to make sure that you are cooling the lies down completely, and because you don't want it to burn your goat's milk.
Mama!
So, yes, sir.
Mom, I was trying to find your car, and I didn't hit your car.
You didn't hit my car?
No, and I was going in by myself.
Okay. I'm glad. Okay, and I'm going to do 12 ounces of water. Because I am going to come back and add the goat's milk because that's going to be my extra liquid. So what you do is you take the amount of liquid that you need and you decide how much goat's milk you're going to use, and then you use the rest with water. And it won't move up, and then it goes down too far. Okay, let's try this one more time. There's 11.9 and 12. Good, good, good. Alright, so I have 12 ounces of water. Get some more lye out here. Alright, I have my food grade sodium hydroxide. I love you. You're so sweet. So you use the food grade sodium hydroxide. I got this from Essential Depot. I will be, once I use this up, I will be using a local supplier for my lye. I'll be buying in bulk and using a local supplier. So if any of you want to try soaping out and you're interested in getting some lye, get in touch with me, let me know, and I can ship it to you. And also, if you're interested in making soap but you don't want to have to worry about measuring, if you'll get in touch with me, Heavenly Soaps and Such, I can work it out with you to measure out whatever oils you want to use and the lye, and actually just mail you the kit, and you can actually just make the soap yourself and everything will already be measured and ready for you. But just let me know.
Can I get some water and then wash my iPad?
Yeah, go ahead.
Money, it's free trash. I can get it.
Okay, let me grab him some water. Sorry about that. I'm back. He needed some water and his iPad. So I have I can't remember where. Oh, here we were. So if you decide that you want to order some lye from me, or you want me to prepare you a kit, just let me know. I'll be more than happy to discuss that with you and figure out exactly what you're wanting, and I'll help you with that process. And sometimes it makes it easier if you already have someone else to do that. It makes it easier the couple times you're trying to make soap, because that way you don't have to worry about all that. You can just focus on the process of just making the soap. So we have 12 ounces of water. The rest of my water will be used as goat's milk. And I'm just checking my recipe again, because you really want to make sure you get it, that you do it correctly. Yeah, I'm messing up on that. That's not, actually, see, that's not right. I actually only needed 11 ounces of water. So, and extra water doesn't hurt anything. The only thing it will do is it will just take the bar longer to cure. It'll be a softer bar to begin with, and then as the water evaporates out of the soap, it will be fine. And then less water sometimes is okay too. There's 11 ounces. It is okay too, because some people do a water discount, but we won't get into all that in today's segment. Alright, so I have 11 ounces of water. I'm going to put in 11 ounces of lye. Tear that out. Normally you should use a bowl to measure this in, so that you make sure you get it right, because once you dump the lye in there, there's no taking it out. But I'm just going to be really, really careful. And actually, I know that I'm going to need all that. So, alright. So I'm going to use the other one. Make sure I have the right one, because I also have one lye that is for shampoo, and then one lye that is for soap. Hard bars of soap. So they're both for soap, really. But alright, so I need 11 ounces. That's 8, 9, 10, and so now's when I'm going to slow down. 10.2, 10.4, 0.7, 0.8, 0.9, 11 exactly. So, actually perfect. I have 11 ounces. I'm going to I'll show you real quickly what it looks like when you first do it together. It looks milky. It's not clear by any, and I should say cloudy. It's got a slight milky look to it, but it's real cloudy. And when you stir it up, I like using these deep pitchers, because I don't have to worry about it splashing out as much when you're stirring, because it's way down in there. And it does get really, really hot, so you have to be careful. Alright, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and put this back up. I'm saving those little lye containers because I have some people that have shown an interest in buying lye, so I might put it back in those, which I think I'm going to use some really, really heavy, like freezer paper or brown bags, so that I may not even have to. It makes shipping a whole lot easier. So I have my lard in the pot heating up. I have my goat's milk in the freezer, and I have my lye water there cooling. So at this point, we're just gonna kind of wait, and I'm going to finish melting the lard. Just turn it off, let the lye water cool down, and let the goat's milk get really cold, like kind of slushy. And then I'm going to bring you back. See you in a few minutes. Okay, I'm bringing you back for the goat's milk soap. I put the goat's milk in the freezer, got it nice and cold, and then I also mixed some of my oatmeal in it to get it nice and soft, because you don't want the oatmeal, unless that's the kind of bar you're aiming for, you don't want the oatmeal to be rough and like an exfoliant. You want it to be nice and soft and soothing. So I added some in with the goat's milk. I did put the lye water in the freezer and let it get cool. It's not cold, it's not frozen, it's just nice and cool. There's no warmth at all to the container. Now this is nice and cold. I went ahead and got my super fats ready and mixed some of the oatmeal in with the oils and just letting them sit there and get nice and soft. So I finished heating up the oils, and then I turned the crock pot off. I actually took the pot out and sat it here so it will be nice and cool. I can actually touch it. It is still warm, but it's not hot by any means. It's not even really warm. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take my lye and I'm going to mix the lye in with the oils that I have already in the pot. And make sure you can see what I'm doing. Okay. Alright, so here's my lye water. I only used part of the water, part of the liquid that was supposed to be water as the lye water, because I'm replacing some of it with the goat's milk. So I'm going to go ahead and pour this in. Now this thickened up a little because I put it in the freezer. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a spatula and just make sure that none of it kind of froze to the bottom or to the side, and that I'm able to get it all out. And this may not really matter a whole lot, but I always like to be sure. Okay, I'm gonna put this in the sink. I've got some other things sitting over there, so I'm gonna hold off on rinsing it out. And I'm going to zoom you in, and I'm going to actually start the stick blending process. I'm going to go ahead and turn the pot back on. As you can see, the oils are already emulsifying into the, I'm not sure if that's the correct word you would use for oils, but they're already blending together. They're already starting the saponification process. As you can see, the oils just took on a different texture. And what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to make sure that the goat's milk doesn't get heated up really hot so that it burns the goat's milk. So that's why I'm taking extra time on this one to make sure that the oil was cooled down and the lye water was cooled down, and then the goat's milk is really cold. It's like it was slushy like when I took it out of the freezer. And this is really runny. I'm going to finish sticks blending that, and then I will just bring you back when it is, when I can bring it to trace. Okay, I'm back. It's been about 10 minutes since I turned the video off. I wasn't stick blending that whole time. I had a couple things I had to run go through, but it's incorporated nicely. I don't see any oils. It's not thick yet, but of course and I took it out of the crock pot because it was getting hot again. I'm going to go ahead and put my goat's milk with a little bit of the oatmeal in it. I'll give it a nice stir. And I'm going to slowly pour it in while I mix. Take a spoon and stir it out. It's doing nicely. I don't know what I did with spatula. Here we go. I'm just going to take it and get out the rest of the little oatmeal that just settle back to the bottom. And once again, this is not the oatmeal. I put a cup of oatmeal in the whole thing. Now I didn't measure. I measured a cup out, but I put some in the super fats and some in the milk. I didn't measure how much. Probably half and half, maybe half a cup in one, half in the other. I really didn't measure that part. But I do use a cup of oatmeal. You can see it's nice. Still smells a little milky, so I know if it burns, it gives off this really bad ammonia type smell. So you'll know immediately if you've added it too hot, the milk. But it's still usable. It doesn't, the bars I've done didn't stay, the smell didn't stay in the bar. So it wasn't that big of a deal. But I don't like to burn it. That way you're getting all of the good qualities from the goat's milk. And you can use buttermilk, goat's milk, plain milk, cow milk. It's kind of up to you what kind of milk you use. Coconut milk. I was trying to think of what the other one was. Coconut milk, almond milk, any kind of milk. It's kind of up to you. Still smells milky, a little milky, so I know that it didn't burn. So that's worked fine. You can freeze the goat milk in ice cubes and add the ice cubes to the lye, and that will keep the heat down. I found this is working really good here. I've done this one other time before. I don't like having a hassle with freezing it and then messing with the cubes. So this worked well just to put the goat's milk in a pitcher or a measuring cup and just put it in the freezer and let it not get frozen, but let it get nice and slushy. And I guess you can do it frozen too. But this is coming together nicely. And I know my stick blender keeps cutting off. That's me. I don't know why I do that. I just keep kind of press the button, let go, press the button, let go. And sometimes I don't mean to let go, but when I'm moving it, it just kind of, my finger kind of comes off of it. But this makes a really, really great soap. goat's milk does. Now, I've never done the goat's milk lard soap. I have a recipe that I normally use, and I didn't really mess with the lard, the plain lard soap. So that's what I usually use it with. But this one, like I said, was a customer request, and so I'm kind of excited to see how it turns out. Stick blender's getting hot, so I'm going to give it a rest. It's getting real hot up here. You don't want to burn the motor up. I've never burnt the motor up in one. The one that I quit using actually threw away. The metal part down here just kind of broke apart, and I used it so long, so I just threw it away. But I've never actually burned the motor up in one. But I'm going to go ahead and put this back in. Go ahead and put it back on low. It's thickening up nicely, so I think it's ready to go ahead and start the cooking process. And I'm going to let it cook for about 30 minutes, and then I'll bring you back. There we go. Now what I do is I write the time down. I have a little notebook, and I'm writing the time down because I have 2 videos going on at one time. And 2 different batches of soap, and soaps. Instead of mixing the video together and having 2 different ones, I'm going to do 2 different videos. So what I do is I keep track of which video segment goes with which one, and then what time I need to come bring you back. So it is 3:47, say 3:50. I'm going to bring you back at 4:20. Okay, I'll see you in a little bit. Okay, I'm back. It's been about 10 minutes since I turned the video off. I wasn't stick blending that whole time. I had a couple things I had to run go through, but it's incorporated nicely. I don't see any oils. It's not thick yet, but of course and I took it out of the crock pot because it was getting hot again. I'm going to go ahead and put my goat's milk with a little bit of the oatmeal in it. We'll give it a nice stir. And I'm going to slowly pour it in while I mix. Take a spoon and stir it out. It's doing nicely. I don't know what I did with spatula. Here we go. I'm just going to take it and get out the rest of the little oatmeal that just settled back to the bottom. And once again, this is not the oatmeal. I put a cup of oatmeal in the whole thing. Now I didn't measure. I measured a cup out, but I put some in the super fats and some in the milk. I didn't measure how much. Probably half and half, maybe half a cup in one, half in the other. I really didn't measure that part. But I do use a cup of oatmeal. You can see it's nice. Still smells a little milky, so I know if it burns, it gives off this really bad ammonia type smell. So you'll know immediately if you've added it too hot, the milk. But it's still usable. It doesn't, the bars I've done didn't stay, the smell didn't stay in the bar. So it wasn't that big of a deal. But I don't like to burn it. That way you're getting all of the good qualities from the goat's milk. And you can use buttermilk, goat's milk, plain milk, cow milk. It's kind of up to you what kind of milk you use. Coconut milk. I was trying to think of what the other one was. Coconut milk, almond milk, any kind of milk. It's kind of up to you. Still smells milky, a little milky, so I know that it didn't burn. So that's worked fine. You can freeze the goat milk in ice cubes and add the ice cubes to the lye, and that will keep the heat down. I found this is working really good here. I've done this one other time before. I don't like having a hassle with freezing it and then messing with the cubes. So this worked well just to put the goat's milk in a pitcher or a measuring cup and just put it in the freezer and let it not get frozen, but let it get nice and slushy. And I guess you can do it frozen too. But this is coming together nicely. And I know my stick blender keeps cutting off. That's me. I don't know why I do that. I just keep kind of press the button, let go, press the button, let go. And sometimes I don't mean to let go, but when I'm moving it, it just kind of, my finger kind of comes off of it. But this makes a really, really great soap. Goat's milk does. Now, I've never done the goat's milk lard soap. I have a recipe that I normally use, and I didn't really mess with the lard, the plain lard soap. So that's what I usually use it with. But this one, like I said, was a customer request, and so I'm kind of excited to see how it turns out. Stick blender's getting hot, so I'm going to give it a rest. It's getting real hot up here. You don't want to burn the motor up. I've never burnt the motor up in one. The one that I quit using and actually threw away, the metal part down here just kind of broke apart, and I used it so long, so I just threw it away. But I've never actually burned the motor up in one. But I'm going to go ahead and put this back in. Go ahead and put it back on low. It's thickening up nicely, so I think it's ready to go ahead and start the cooking process. And I'm going to let it cook for about 30 minutes, and then I'll bring you back. There we go. Now what I do is I write the time down. I have a little notebook, and I'm writing the time down because I have 2 videos going on at one time. And 2 different batches of soap, and soaps. Instead of mixing the video together and having 2 different ones, I'm going to do 2 different videos. So what I do is I keep track of which video segment goes with which one, and then what time I need to come bring you back. So it is 3:47, say 3:50. I'm going to bring you back at 4:20. Okay, I'll see you in a little bit. Okay, I'm back with and I forgot and started it before I turned the video on. I have my little helper here with his Oreo cookie. But the goat's milk soap, it thickened up nicely. It still has a light milky smell. It definitely doesn't smell like ammonia. But we're gonna let it continue to cook. Watch out, baby. No, pick your cookie up. Or put it in the trash. But I'm just gonna give it a quick stir, and then I'm going to let it continue to cook. Hoping you're being able to see this. You are. I'm going to clean off, and this, you know, still has a ways to go. Now, it doesn't take goat's milk soap as long to cook as some of the other soaps, as soaps without milks. I'm not really sure why. I'm sure there's a scientific reason, something in the goat's milk or the sugars maybe. I'm really not sure, but it usually doesn't take the goat's milk soap as long to cook. So there we go. Got it mixed up. I will bring you back, and hopefully, and like I said, the times aren't exact, but let me see what time it is. Because I was about 5 minutes early. This time I brought you back, so I'm gonna bring you back in about 30 minutes. And something must be wrong with my times on my other one, because I have exactly the same time. Alright, I'll bring you back in about 30 minutes to check and see how it's doing. Okay, I'm back with the goat's milk soap. I've noticed that it has begun to separate, which is typical of goat's milk soap. You can see here that it's separated. So what we're going to have to do is we're going to have to bring it back together. And that I'm going to need the stick blender for. And they say when goat's milk soap separates, it is ready. So I will test it, but definitely I need to bring it back together first. So because you can't mold it like this. All right, so I'm gonna put that there. I'm gonna grab my stick blender, and I'm going to start pulling it back together. And you want to make sure that you don't bring this so far out that it splatters everywhere, but you want to do kind of a motion like this. Just be careful. And it kind of stirs it, pushes those oils down while you blend. You can see it's already coming back together. And I'm going to turn it off and just kind of try to get them down in there. And you can use the spoon, but you don't really have to. You can kind of just use this. I just really try to get around the edges, because the edges, the oil tries to just kind of gather around the edges of the pot. Okay. Yeah. When you hear the stick blender change the sound that it's making, you know that it's doing what it's supposed to do. Okay. Now I am going to give it a stir just to make sure that I don't have the oils on the bottom. No, looks like it's all blended back together. So now what I do is try to get what I can off of here. It makes the cleanup easier. Okay. And stir it just a little, okay, nicely. It smells kind of like oatmeal. It's lost the milk smell. So Clean this off. It's not sticking to the edge of the pot, so I'm not going to use the cake knife, but I am going to get it around off of there. Here's my little guy coming in. Back up, back up.
Can I see?
Just a second, Mom, I'm going to show you. Okay?
I want to see.
But you're not getting up to the edge now because it's hot. So you don't hit something. I'm going to stand back here. There you
Need to turn it right here.
go. Alright, I'll turn around for you. Back up, back up. Alright, don't get your toes. There you go. Nope, no, that's good. That's good. You're not coming any closer. Alright, we're going to go ahead and I'm going to test this one. Usually I don't. I let it cook longer, but I just want to see, because some people say when it separates it is ready. But I want to test it and find out, because I don't want any lye left in the soap, especially if you're giving it to a customer immediately. You definitely don't want lye soap in it. Lye in it. So I'm going to test this real quickly, and I think my battery's running dead. Oh, and it's definitely not ready. I can immediately see the pink, so I'm going to let it continue to cook, and I'm going to get my battery charging, and I'll bring you back.
Bye-bye.
Okay, it's been about, actually it's been 31 minutes, so I'm back and almost right on time. You can see that it's kind of folded in on itself into the middle, and it's nice and clear around the edges. It's stayed together. There's no separation of oils that I can see. The top's getting a translucent look to it. Nice, still nice and creamy on the bottom. We're gonna give it a quick stir. I found that videotaping makes it more difficult to do soap, because normally I can just kind of run in here, do it, go right back to a supper or whatever I'm doing. And I've actually got 2 batches going right now, so make sure you go over and watch that video. Lavender soap that I'm making, and then of course this one's the goat's milk. But so I'm trying to do 2 videos at once, plus keep other things going at the same time, so it makes it a little bit difficult. And then if you're on the phone, you have to get off the phone, because you can't, record. Normally you just do it while you're on the phone, stir it or whatever, but now you have to get off, because if you're trying to record, you can't record and you're on the phone too. So anyway, there we go. Gave it a nice stir. I'm not even going to check this for another 30 minutes. And I'm going to give it 30 more minutes, and then I'm going to bring you back again. So I'll see you in 30 minutes. Okay, it has been 33 minutes, so I'm running a little past the time, past 30 minutes. Not a big deal. I'm going to give this soap a stir. It smells really, really good. Smell that oatsy smell coming through. Yeah, it smells good. Can't smell the milk at all. There's no ammonia type smell from the milk. It just smells, it's like it has a sweet smell. It's weird, because there's nothing sweet in it, but there is sugar, natural sugars in the goat's milk. So, gonna give it a nice stir. Just not believing how sweet it smells. So there we go. Give it a nice stir, and I'm gonna let it cook for about 30 more minutes, and then I'm gonna go ahead and add the super fats. Clean that off good. I'll make sure there's, use my cake knife, make sure there's nothing. Woo! Oh goodness, there we go. Hope that didn't break. Push that piece in. There we go. I'm gonna go around the edge one time. Get it off. I'm gonna let it cook for 30 more minutes and I will bring you back. Okay, I'm back. It has been, let me check, it's actually been about 45 minutes. I had another soap that I was finishing up and I actually got it in the mold. So now I'm going to check this one. This one I'm going to go ahead and give a nice stir. It's a little creamy on the bottom. It did have some Vaseline looking on the top. Give it a nice stir. Take the cake knife and get it off the edges. So, and I usually just take those little chunks that are stuck and I cut them up. And they'll make little white places, but it's still soap. It's just dried out more than the other areas. Alright, so that's ready. Another quick stir. And I'm going to check the lye on it. Go ahead and bump it all off, get a little bit. Okay. Gonna bring it over here so you can see it. Okay. I like to smash it around a little. See if I see. I don't see any pink at all. I see the little flakes of oatmeal in it, but I don't see any pink. And if you turn it over, yep, trying to get where you see, there's no pink on the back either. So I know this soap is ready. So what I'm going to go ahead and do, I've already turned it off. What I'm going to go ahead and do is I'm going to go ahead and give my super fats with my oatmeal in it nice stir. And then I'm going to do a little kind of hole in the middle, not that it matters, but I'm going to pour it right in. And this soap is not going to have any fragrance or essential oils in it. This father, this man, it's for his daughter. His whole family uses it, but that's why they buy it, is because of her, he said. And she needs no fragrance, no scent, just a plain goat's milk oatmeal bar. So that's what we're giving her. We're gonna put this in, stir it up. You can see my little coconut oil there, either cocoa butter, looks like coconut oil. Give it a nice stir. Make sure that it gets mixed in nicely. And I'm gonna kind of hold the pot, and you want to make sure now before you pour this up that it's mixed in, because we don't have to wait on the temperature on this one because I'm not adding any essential oils or fragrance oils, so I don't have to worry about how hot it is. But you do want it to cool down a little bit, and you want to give the super fats time to kind of cook in there a little bit. So like I said, I've turned it off. So it's not really, and it's still cooking because it's still hot. But do is I give it a nice scrape, get it all in there, get it off, because if you leave it on there, it's going to just dry up and clump up, and you're just going to have to try to clean it off. Over there, nice. Get it off the top. Okay. And then we're going to put the lid back on. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and I usually start cleaning up a little bit, trying to get things organized. I'm going to go ahead and bring the mold over here. Put up some of this other stuff, sorry about that, out of the way. Try to clean up a little bit so that I don't end up with a really, really big mess after I'm done. Alright, this, the last time I used this, I used it with some cold process, which had lye in it. They both have lye in them, but it still had lye in it when I poured it in it, and it kind of curved the mold. I'm hoping that I'll be able to use this, just because I really don't feel like cutting some more out tonight. I'm tired. Quite some time today between videos and different soaps and delivering them to stores, so I'm getting kind of tired, and it's only 7 o'clock. Alright, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and unplug this, and I'm going to go ahead and move this out of the way. Take that, this is hot. Woo, 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 woo. Okay, get that over there. I really need to do some organizing in this room. It's become a really big mess today. I did one video which was called Soap Talk, and it just covered molds and stuff, so I had those out and some little soaps out showing the ones that I've already made, so make sure you check out that video. And then it seems like it's a lot harder to videotape than just doing the soap, because you have to keep track of which video comes next for which soap. And anyway, I've enjoyed doing it though. I enjoy posting the videos. I enjoy interacting with people with the comments, and I get questions. I think my most popular video has been making apple cider vinegar. Organic apple cider vinegar with the mother. I've got a lot of comments and interest in that. So I think the next time I get ready to do a batch, I'm going to make another video. Alright, so I think this is ready. I'm going to get a towel or two, because it's going to be hot. And what I do is I just pick it up. I use one towel to sit it on my side, and I'm not going to show you because I recently just showered, so I'm going to try to keep me out of the video. And give it a quick last stir. Now, because this is bending in, I'm going to have to really be careful with getting it started, where normally I don't have to worry about that as much. I'm going to have to kind of hold it with my hand. Now, I usually don't dip either. I usually pour, or let it kind of fall out of the pot. It's really not pourable, but it does fall out. That's working pretty good. I'm hoping that it's gonna push that mold end, and I will throw this away, this mold away, after I use it this time. I'll use it again. Gotta just kind of push it down there and keep adding to this one spot. And this is really hot. I'm not really, I don't usually dip or put the soap in the mold when it's this hot, because usually I'm dealing with fragrance oils or usually essential oils. I don't do much fragrance oils. I don't do very many, but I do have a couple customers who request, and of course I do it for the customer. So, trying to not make a mess with mold. Get it in there. Oh, it's hot. Not sure that this is going to work. It might. I was thinking it would just kind of push it back. Maybe it will, but maybe it won't. I may have to get some. Yeah, I think it's going to. The more I fill it up. Just gotta keep filling it. There we go. Okay. I did put some two-sided tape behind it, hoping that it would I think it would have been a lot easier just to go ahead and cut another liner than me have to sit here and try to do this. But we're getting it. My daughter's a little upset. She loves to come in and watch me do the soaps, but her brother is really tired, and he's really ill, and he just won't be quiet, and he's just beyond himself. I mean, he's not being nice to her or me. So when he gets tired, he tends to do that. So I made him go in there, and he won't stay in there without her. So I had to make her go in there with him, and so she's kind of upset because she loves this kind of stuff, which I'm glad. One day I'm hoping that she will take over this and start doing the soaps for herself. It's a lot of work, but it's very rewarding. And I forgot that I put too much. There was too much to go in this mold. When you add oatmeal, it adds a little extra, 2 ounces. But I'm almost through. And what I do is I just kind of scrape out every bit I can get. Pretty much, for the most part, get all of it. Back up. And I'm through with that. Now what I do is I take a spoon. Oh. Come on, pick it up for you. Watch out. Let me pick it up. And you're gonna sit this way. Okay, you can see. You just got to be quiet, okay? So they can hear.
What people?
Mom's videotaping, and they will watch the video.
What video do?
It just makes a picture, like you know how you watch shows on TV or on your iPad, on YouTube. It's going to put Mommy's videos. You've seen Mommy's videos on YouTube.
Mom, can I see it?
Yeah, not right now, but we will. So I'm gonna put the video on YouTube. Okay. Check out this handsome little Spider-Man. See if I can get it up there. See this? Wave to him. Tell him hey. Can you smile? Say hey. So he is in his little Spider-Man outfit. He loves Spider-Man. Alright, so now, we're almost through. Watch on. Back up. We're almost through. I'm almost through. I keep saying we because you're here with me and it's kind of like we're together. So now what I do is I go and I just kind of twist it and I get all the dry parts, because you can see that some of it's a little dry. I get the dry parts on the bottom. So that they're down in there. And it just makes it better when it's cooling down. What they'll do is they'll heat back up and they'll be on the bottom, so then it'll cool together versus those being dried out to begin with. What is it? That's okay. It's okay. She can watch. They both ended up back in here. So we're going to see if they can watch me doing the soap without bothering anything. I think they can do it. What?
Mama, Spider-Man can, when Spider-Man outfit's on with his gloves, he can dip in it.
He can. No, he can't.
When I get big, I can do it. That's what Spider-Man does. That's what Spider-Man
does?
Yep.
We don't dip in the soap though, because it's hot and it has to cool.
As it goes to Spider-Man dips in it.
I'm gonna sit this on the floor and I'm gonna bump it down just to make sure there's no air pockets in it and that it gets all the way down. There we go. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to move you over here, and this is where I'm going to put it. So we'll bring it over here, squeeze it in, and lift this up. What I'll do is just slide this right down in there. Something wet on the table. Okay. I'm going to slide that right in there like that against it. Bring it over. Straighten it out, of course. What I do is I take my hands and I just, and you don't have to do this. This is just something I do. I don't, some people leave it all up in the air and just making sure that this liner is gonna it's gonna lay correctly, and I think it is. It looks like it is. It feels like it's the same height on both ends. This one is already hardening up on the top. This one is my lavender lard lye soap, and this one is the unscented goat's milk with oatmeal. And so there they go. I've got them, I'll just leave them sitting there till tomorrow, and in the morning I will come in and I will cut them, and then I may do a video in the morning of me cutting the soap for you. Alright, thank you for watching. Make sure that you give me a thumbs up, please. Subscribe to my page if you haven't done so already. Please watch the ads, they help me out. And also, I have another YouTube channel which is called Heavenly Soaps and Such, and that's where I'm going to be putting all of my videos in the near future. So go ahead over there and subscribe, that way you don't miss the videos. And check me out on Facebook, Heavenly Soaps and Such. Thanks for watching, I really appreciate it. See you soon.